Hello, thank you for joining us today on October 8th, 2023, as we gather to celebrate the life of Helen Hong, our dear friend. As we gather virtually, we are happy that so many can join us from the salon and many others who knew Helen for quite some time. There are so many to mention that I fear I might leave someone out. So you know who you are, and Helen thanks you for remembering her. I met Helen at a salon Ken held in the small house he was renting on Ivy Street in 1996. One of my fondest memories is of us going to a chocolate and wine tasting in Washington, D.C. Ken and our late Solani friend Rebecca Murdoch joined us. By the end of the second hour, we had eaten so much chocolate we thought we were going to fall into a coma. A tradition that the salon started thanks to Helen, Marianne, and Ken is an annual Leaf Day. We would drive out west towards the Blue Ridge Mountains and catch the beauty of the golden and reddish leaves. Of course, it always included a stop for lunch, and eventually we added a stop at a winery here and there. After our friend Sarah opened us a restaurant in Sperryville, we would make trips out west just to enjoy the food and the scenery. Helen was also great at organizing a group of Salanis to restaurant tastings. A special one was to a Korean restaurant with a group of about 8 of us. Sam, Terry, Ken, Marion, and Martin, and a few others joined us. We also went to Chinese restaurants. Our dear friends Kevin and Carla, who bought a house in Berkeley Springs, West Virginia, invited us to stay with them. We liked this so much that after Kevin and Carla left the DC area, we, Helen, Marianne, Ken, our dog, and I, would rent a house and we enjoyed the restaurants, the wine bar, and the galleries in town. Of course, we would stop at a winery on our drive back. Before Carter Barron stopped the Shakespeare in the Park series, we would go to DC to enjoy the free play, and of course, we would have a communal picnic before the play. The tradition of Leaf Day, which started after many Solanis would go to the beach house in the fall, began with um, Ken, Marianne, and Helen driving back from the beach house. Unfortunately, I was never able to go to the beach house, but after I was closer to retirement, I was able to join them for Leaf Day, which we all enjoyed very much. Here we have Carla, Kevin, Marianne, Ken, and Helen. Helen is the obvious person who is taking this picture when I was able to join the group. We can thank Kevin and Carla for getting us to enjoy the um, amenities of Berkeley Springs. As I said, we often would stop at a winery on the way back from Leaf Day. Our friend Sarah's restaurant, Off the Grid, was important in getting us to gather together and go west to enjoy the great food and the great um, scenery. On this day that we went to Sperryville, um, Brad and Don, who are used to belong to the salon, but they moved out of the area, were able to join us, which made the event very special to us. Another event which I forgot to talk about is our Christmas parties, and I have a video which I'm not able to upload, but it's a video of Helen getting a Trump doll, And in the video, she we ask her, "What are you going to do with this?" And so she grabs the doll in her hand and begins to beat the sofa with the doll, which had us all rolling almost on the floor. Um, she could be a character. We really do miss the Carter Barron Park, Shakespeare in the Park plays. As I mentioned, we would have picnics. We also would go to the Lubber Run Amphitheater in the summer, and again, we would also have picnics before the concerts. Helen's favorite color was purple, and she loved orchids, although she never kept any because she said she wasn't good with plants. But every time I think of buying an orchid and I buy a purple one, I always think of Helen, and now I always will. Helen also joined the book club that Ken and I belong to, and on this occasion we went out to a restaurant, probably at Helen's suggestion. Taking Flight for Helen Hong, 9/18/2023. A lush, cool breeze sways the red blossoms, like manna falling to the ground, preparing the way. Sit quietly and watch as the purpled wing hummingbird returns to feed at the crimson hanging flowered bowl with its prized nectar. It comes and goes tasting, fluttering away, stopping here and going there, scouting out the most precious fragrances, not unlike our dear friend the foodie, knowing where and when to land, to taste the best of Arlington, snapping photos to post as we all ooh and gaw. Here, taste this. Yes, it has a nice finish, a bouquet of roasted hazelnut. Try this. Yum. We roll back, not having wings. What's next? A crème brûlée, a mousse au chocolat, and churros for the table, topped off with cappuccino. We turn, and our hummingbird has taken flight. We hope to celebrate Helen's birthday on March 20th, 2024, so please keep in touch.